Very Smart Pea and the Princess to Be by Minnie Gray. Many years ago, I was born in the palace garden among rows of carrots and beets and cabbages. I nestled snugly in a velvety pod with my brothers and sisters. I felt a tingle. I knew somehow I would be important. The time came for us to go to the palace kitchen. We were shelled and put in a bowl. We were going to be part of a new recipe. Then, suddenly, I was picked from the pile. I was put in a little box with soft tissue to protect me from bruising. And I was taken by the queen. At this point in my story, I'm going to have to give you some background information. Let's start with the queen. A year earlier, before I even started to grow on my pea plant, the queen had been nagging her son.
You are nearly 34 years old, Prince. It is really high time you married. The public expects it. Your kingdom demands it. And if you are not married within 1 year, I shall stop your allowance.
The prince got quite a large allowance, and he really didn't want it to be taken away.
I'll start looking for a bride immediately, Mother.
And the search began. The prince traveled the known world. He met princesses of all shapes and sizes, with a wide variety of hobbies and interests. Too loud. Too quiet. Oh, too energetic.
What's the deal with mattresses?
Too funny. Too scruffy. Too tidy. Too grumpy. Too pink. Too sleepy. Too scary. Strange pets. But none of them seemed like a real princess. Somehow, they were not right for him. After a year's search, the prince returned home feeling glum.
That's enough. Now listen carefully. This is something only queens know. A real princess will be able to feel this little pea even as she sleeps, even if she is sleeping underneath 20 mattresses and feather beds. And you are going to marry the first girl who can feel this pea.
Months passed. I spent most nights in the darkness, under a pile of 20 mattresses and feather beds, and a princess. In the morning, the queen would ask,
"And how did you sleep, my dear?"
The princesses had been properly brought up. They always answered politely. "Like a log, thank you, ma'am."
"Like a babe, thank you, ma'am."
What a comfortable bed!
They were, as I said, all very polite princesses. The prince will never find his princess at this rate, I thought to myself. I must help, somehow. One night, a furious storm raged. Rain lashed the palace. Thunderclaps shook the walls. Lightning flashed through the window panes. There was a little knock on the palace door. A small, wet person stood on the doormat.
Could this be a real princess?
Before she could say a word, the small, wet person was put to bed on top of the 20 mattresses and feather beds, with me, of course, underneath. In the darkness, under the mattresses, I recognized the soft snoring. It was my gardener! I must help. I tried jiggling and wriggling. The snoring continued quietly. I must do something. I inched my way to the edge, and then I started to climb. Slowly, I struggled to the top of the towering pile. I rolled softly across the pillow, right to the girl's ear. "There is something large and round and very uncomfortable in the bed under you.
There's something large and round and very uncomfortable underneath me.
While she slept, I told her about the large, round, uncomfortable thing for 3 hours. In the morning,
And how did you sleep, my dear? Oh, it was awful. Something large and round and very uncomfortable was bothering me all night.
the queen was delighted. The wedding was lovely. The queen was interested to meet the new princess's parents, and I'm sure they will all live together happily ever after. And as for me, I became a very important artifact, and I now have my own glass case. I am on display. And if you visit the right museum and look in the right place, you may chance to see me. The end.
I hope you enjoyed that story. Hi, I'm Grace. You probably don't know me, but if you watch any of the Storytime videos, you might be surprised to learn that I actually edit together most of them. It's been so much fun working on Storytime from week to week that I decided I wanted to tell a story myself. I've decided that for today, I want to teach you a little bit about my editing process. But through mattresses, of course. For all intents and purposes, I will give myself the title of Royal Mattress Stacker, aka a video editor. For each week, there's a new Storytime video. So that's a new stack of mattresses for princesses to sleep on. Every week, I'm given a total of 30 mattresses, aka a lot of videos.
For this activity, you can start with 30 strips of paper. If you're going to cut the pieces of paper like I did, be sure that you have an adult who can use scissors. And you're going to decorate each one differently. Okay, here's a blank mattress. Let's start by coloring it in a little bit. Then we'll add some patterns. You don't have to follow along. This is just an example mattress so you have an idea of how to make your own mattresses later. Voila! 30 beautiful mattresses. But of course, as we learned in the story, the stack is only 20 high. So my job as Royal Mattress Stacker is to pick and choose which mattresses are the best to sleep on. Okay, we'll start with this one at the bottom, and then these two for sure. Now this blue one. But wait a minute, I don't think that one with the stripes is a good fit anymore. I'll exchange it for polka dots. And I'll keep stacking and interchanging the mattresses until I have 20. It's never a finished product, so if I decide there's a mattress that needs another flower, I'll add it. On a computer and as a real editor, this would look a little different, but it's certainly not as fun as mattress stacking.
Then, when I think I'm done, I present my mattresses to my two bosses. The queen gets a say, and so does the pea. They'll give me a couple of notes, so I'll go back to my mattress and stack it accordingly.
Good thing I didn't get too many notes on this one. I just have to switch some mattresses around. For me, it's super important that I get feedback on my mattress stack, and I encourage you to get feedback from a parent or friend as well. Now I'm finally done. This is a perfect mattress stack for this week, and another week's video is ready to go out.
Thanks for learning about editing with me. You can take these lessons anywhere, and I hope you finish making and stacking your own mattress.